Hello, how are we? Welcome back to the channel Up the Reds TV with me, Andy. Okay, so this one is the post-match Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1 fallout, and let's get into it, shall we? So the Reds made 3 changes for this game today. Mohammed returned in goals, and there were also starts for Kirkis and Ungamoa. Chelsea made 5 changes from their 3-1 midweek loss at home to Notts Forest. Jorgensen in goals, Hato, Santos, Colwell and Fafana. They all started for the Blues. So let's have a quick rundown on the first half, will we? And before we start to dissect everything from today's game, which was shambolic, really, if we are honest with ourselves. So, first minute, Pedro takes a shot on the edge of the box and it just goes wide. 6 minutes, there's a foul on Kirkes by Caicedo. Slobberslide takes the free kick. It gets blocked. The ball is then picked up and it's played to by Kirkes to Ungamoa. And Ungamoa feeds Gravenberch, and great finish from him. 1-0 to the Reds. Good start to the game. And then a couple of minutes after that, chance for Cucurella. His cross goes over, Hato knocks it back in, and it's headed away by Van Dijk. Brave header. We clear our lines. 10 minutes, their keeper makes a mistake. Frimpong picks it on it. He crosses it. It gets blocked for a corner. Maka takes the corner. It's a short corner. And it's played out to Dom Slobsly, who puts it at the back stick. Van Dijk might have been offside, but he misses a sitter. He doesn't even make the goalkeeper work. So that was a big opportunity to go 2-0. And 12 minutes, we get Jones on the right-hand side. He plays a ball in, and it's just way too long. And then all of a sudden, from 19 minutes onwards, we just started to sit back. Palmer through to Pedro. Mohammed comes off his line and gathers it. We've not seen him do that this season, but he was quickly off his line, and he gets the ball. 27 minutes. Cucurella's shot is saved by Mohammed. We're clear. 30 minutes. Caicedo passes to Cucurella again. Mohammed gathers. We have been sloppy, absolutely sloppy from this end. 31 minutes. Corners given to Chelsea. It should have been a goal kick because the last touch came off Cucurella. And 34 minutes, Gakpo fouls the Chelsea player. I put on here a fucking joke of a goal, and I mean it was piss poor, absolutely piss poor. It all came when we had possession of the ball. This is leading up to the free kick. The ball's been played to Mohammed. Mohammed tries to do a chip shot of a pass. I think it was out to Kirkis, and it goes out for a throw-in. And why is Gakpo giving a free kick where he gives a free? He's a centre forward. There should have been a midfielder there biting at the legs. Should have been McAllister or somebody. So they get the free kick. And this is where you think we're shite at set pieces. Absolutely dog shite. And for the 18th time this season, they get a goal from a set piece. We concede a goal to the opposition from a set piece. That ball should have been dealt with who organises? Where is our defensive coach to organise free kicks there? You can see the massive gap in the middle. Again, Gakpo gets out-muscled by Fofana, right? I think it might have been Colwill who was pushing Konate back towards his goal so he'd play everybody onside. Honestly, football's a dead easy game, right? So what happens? Konate plays everybody on. Fofana doesn't touch the ball, it goes straight in. You know, people are tweeting me that should be retake. It's an indirect free kick, and that should not be a goal. Look, if that's what we are now coming to as supporters, trying to find out little tidbits about free kicks, that goal shouldn't stand. We should be looking at ourselves and saying, what the fuck is that defending? The defending was absolutely atrocious. And then they get the goal, and guess what? They have 3 or 4 other chances to score. And if it wasn't for Marmadashvili saving us on 3 of those occasions, and we cleared our lines, it would have been far worse coming in at half time. And it was just absolute crap of a game to watch. On 38 minutes, I've put, we are all over the place. This is pathetic by the Reds, because we were getting outrun in midfield. When Chelsea started the game, they had 4 at the back, and then they went to 3 at the back and flooded the midfield. And guess what? Slot did not react to that. He did not react to that at all in that first half. And we were lucky that we came in at 1-1. Second half, 46 minutes, we get a free kick. Szoboszlai puts it in. Maka jumps too soon. He's heading the ball as he's coming back down. So he's going to get no power, wasted. And then on 48 minutes, we give a stupid free kick away. And I mean it is stupid. And we're not set. Frimpong is meant to be picking up Cucurella. He's just offside, but he's clean through. The ball ricochets because Marmadashvili has made the save again, and there's Cole Palmer to put it in. I was fingers crossed that Cucurella was offside, because that's what it looked like to me. But you never know with VAR, you know. So yeah, that was the start of the second half. We then had a shot on 51, wasted by Ungamoa. 52, Frimpong beats his player. He has a tame shot at the keeper, and he just flipping, it's like a back pass shot. Keeper just gathers it. Maka was then flying in the tackles, and on the 54th minute, he was getting a bit annoyed. And then on 57, ball gets played in to Gakpo at the far stick. He heads it across, and Jones heads it in, clearly offside. Gakpo. On 59 minutes, we have a corner, and it's wasted. We do the short corner again, when we should have just been putting it in the box. Why are we doing short corners on 59 minutes of a football match? The ball should be going in the danger area, and it just got wasted. 62 minutes, Chelsea make the first change to bring on Jones and take Santos off. 64, Marmadashvili has a bit of a head moment. Van Dijk is asking him to come and gather the ball. Now, to me, it's not Marmadashvili that should be dealing with it. It should be Van Dijk. He should be sprinting back to the ball. Why is he allowing our goalkeeper to do something with a ball that's been played through when Van Dijk should have been dealing with it? It allowed the Chelsea player to close Marmadashvili out, and he had to just run it out of the touchline. 65 minutes, Slot makes his first substitution. He brings Isak on for Ungamoa. The boos go round, but if I'm honest with you, the young lad looked goose to me. We stopped passing the ball to him, and yeah, I think he'd run himself into the ground playing in that unorthodox position, because it wasn't out and out. It was more like sitting in and then counter. And really, that is bad tactics to use, especially on a 17-year-old in a high-profile game like that. He should have been pressing more on the top to give him more chances, but I'll get to him when and the other players at the end. So 66, Hato gets a yellow card, pulled back on Frimpong. Don't waste the free kick, just goes over everybody, goes out for a throw-in, and yet we do nothing from the throw-in. 70 minutes, Gakpo to Slobosly, low shot, it beats the keeper, hits the post, and then it goes out for a throw-in. Fernandes gets a yellow on Jones on 72, put the free kick in, win a corner, nothing from the corner. 73 minutes, get another corner, nothing from the corner. 75, Slot decides to make more changes. Konate seems to have been struggling with a limp, and Gomez comes on for him, and then Chiesa comes on for Gakpo as well at the same time. 77, Reds have a corner. Virgil van Dijk hits the crossbar. He's looking for a penalty. You're never going to get a penalty in a million years. If you hadn't have headed the ball and you'd have left it, you could have been screaming that you've been dragged down, and it would have been a pen. So 83 minutes, Slobosly has a free kick. We get nothing from it. 84 minutes, we get a corner. We get nothing from it. And there's 90 plus 7 minutes to play, and nothing comes of it. Absolutely nothing comes of that. And there's boos that ring out at the end. So the boos would have been orchestrated from the Kop, I'll tell you that now, and then boos from other parts of the ground. Another woeful performance by the Reds. We score a worldie, and then we stop playing football. We drop back 5. We drop back 10. This is in the first half of a game of football. And I, and just like you guys, are watching this week in and week out. It is the same. We can predict how Liverpool will play. And it's not a good watch on the eye. And the eye does not tell. I am not going to be told by anybody, but look at our stats. I ain't bothered about how much possession of a football that we have. What I'm bothered about is creating chances from that possession of football. And we are not creating diddly shite from that possession. There's nothing. And you cannot tell me, I cannot remember anything from today's game that I thought, ooh, that's a bit different. I can't. Because my eyes are not lying. And your eyes are not lying. Look, the Chelsea goal has to be one of the worst goals I've seen at Anfield for a very, very long time, because how I described it, of the absolute cock-up. No leadership at the back for defending like that. And it was just utter crap. I'm still seeing it in my head now, that goal. Still seeing it. And it's just utter bollocks. Absolute crap. Second half, we just huffed. Yes, we hit the post and we hit the crossbar. Dom had a shot saved when we were looking for a penalty for a handball, which was never going to be given, just like Chelsea's was never going to be given for Jones tangling, it's Frimpong tangling with Pedro. So, yeah, this is a Chelsea team that came to Anfield on the back of 6 losses, just like the Spurs team did with 6 losses, and they both go away with 1-1 victories. But that's not just about today's game, is it? It's about when when Burnley turned up, when Sunderland turned up, when Leeds turned up in the league and embarrassed us. Absolutely embarrassed us because of the way we played and set up in those games. And the worst game I've witnessed this season is the PSV game in the Champions League. And Slot tells me and he tells you that we've done really well in the Champions League this season. Give it a rest, lad. Give it a rest. So yeah. I mean, we got beat by Man City. We've got beat by Man United. And Amarin's Man United at home. And it just goes on and on and on. So before I did this, I had to listen to Slot's presser. He was asked on the booze about Ingamoa. He said he's a good player, but not fit enough to make the forward runs anymore. He looked over to him to say that he needed to come off. And he said, myself and the players feel the frustration of the booze. So, as I said earlier on, that I thought Ungamo looked a bit goosed, and he was. And don't forget, he's only 17, but I also understood the booze. I totally get the booze. He said that this is from the first half. He said they had more midfielders than us, but decided to press them higher in the second half, but we couldn't make that change until the end of the first half. I have never heard so much crap in all my life from a head coach. If you can see a game that's unravelling in front of you and the other team are getting on top, yeah, you've scored the first goal, but the other team start to get on top because they were finding gaps in midfield and they were easy breaking through, and they had 2 clear chances before they scored, and 2 more on the other side of that. You've got to be doing the change in the first half. You cannot wait to go and do that in the second half, because you could have been 3 or 4-1 down and the damage would have been done. So he's not doing the changes as he sees the game in front of him. He's taking a punt that it will be just 1-1 at half time. And then he said he made the change at half time where he's asking Frimpong to pick up Cucurella. He's asking Jones to go and be a bit more free. He's asking Gravenberch to pick up Fernandes, and the game just petered out for me in the second half. It was just Liverpool's press wasn't really a press. Dom Slobosly running around like a headless chicken, but nobody else, trying to be a one-man press. So yeah, it's another thing that he said. I never tell the players to back off and allow another team to attack, as last week we conceded from a set piece, and he's yet again saying it's not his fault that the players were going back and back in that first half, and it's not his fault that we conceded from a set piece, and yet we conceded from a set piece at United last week. And this is the one that gets me. he said, when we are the better team, we fail to score. We've never been the better team. We have never been the better team. I cannot think of a game this season that I'm thinking, wow, that really impressed me. That's how we should be playing, because we've never been that team. We scored a goal in the first half, but we haven't scored a goal in 24 matches in the first half this season. So yeah. On Canate, Canate said he had a bit of cramp, so he said we'll have to wait and see. He went sideways. Ali and Mo and Wirtz might be back on Friday. We'll have to wait and see. Wirtz wasn't feeling too well. He was feeling unwell. So maybe he might be back on Friday. And he was trying to, I wouldn't say save his job. I think he was, he just said, look, you will see a different team next season. He said that's how it will be next season. I don't know what he meant by that. He said the goals conceded is not as much as what it was last season. Nobody's asked about that, but he said scoring is a problem, and that has been our struggle. Look, he said, I would love to show the supporters something other than ball possession. It's not my idea that we just have good ball possession. So he's like reapplying for his job. I mean, don't forget, he got outdone by an academy coach today. Let that sink in. An academy coach outdoes him. And I listened to McFarlane's interview. He thought his team could have won today. And he's not far wrong. They could have won today. All I want to do is just ask one simple question. And it won't get answered. But what is the plan, Slot? What is your plan? You said today that you saw, well, you tell me that you saw what was happening in the first half, but you weren't going to do anything about it until the second half. Now, for me, good head coaches, good managers, which he is not one, he's a head coach, would have made the changes in the same half to make Chelsea think about doing something different. Like I said, they started off with a back four, then went to a back three. And because they found out there were so many areas where they could exploit us. Our midfield's shocking. It really is. You've got the likes of McAllister, who wants to put a tackle in whenever he wants, and not do it from the onset. You've got Gravenberg. Yeah, he scored a worldie today, but I can't think of anything else that he did today. That was good. He's so easy to play through this season. Slobberslide was running around, but save your energy, lad, because if you're doing all that, you're going to be goose by 60 minutes, and then you're out of the game for 30 minutes, and that's not how it should be. So, yeah, let's talk about the players, shall we? Mohammed came back in today. Yes, he made saves that probably Freddie Woodman might not have made. But then again, his kicking let him down. He was the instigator for that equaliser by his kick that went straight out. So he needs massive improvement on moving on to next season with his kicking. He really does. We should never have given the ball away in that circumstances when we were in control. Curtis Jones gave the ball away a few times today in midfield. Cucurella and Chelsea were exploiting that side because they knew what he was doing. In fact, their gaffer McFarlane said that they were exploiting Liverpool's both flanks because that's where they were at the weakest. So Jones did okay. On another day, that would have been a good header to probably win the game. But yeah, people say he passes sideways. I want him gone. He doesn't give enough going forward. But the lad did all right. Canate was okay. Virgil van Dijk needs to lead in these next two games. He needs to be screaming his head off. Kirkes did okay. Was taken out a couple of times. But I tell you what, when there's a 50-50, he doesn't shirk out of it. Not like some players I can name. Ryan Gravenberch, like I say, scored a worldie, but after that, non-existent. Totally non-existent. McAllister offered us nothing going up front. Too many sideways, backward passes. Dom Slobberslide just ran around like a headless chicken. Yeah, he got a couple of shots. One was blocked and we got a goal from it. The other one hit the post. Another one was a great save from the handball incident that never was a handball. Frimpong, his crossing wasn't much good today. In the air. Non-existent in that first half. He should have been pressing a lot higher, but he should be doing that himself. He shouldn't be looking at what Slot has asked him to do in that first. He should be. He's in the game. You feel the game. You know what you have to do. Again, just wasted that first 45 minutes. Cody Gakpo. Just enough said about him, really. Absolutely enough said about him. What I was surprised was when he got taken off and Chiesa got brought on 75 or something like that. Rion Gamoa, they were doubling up on him all the time because they know how dangerous he is. This is a game that he'll learn from. I hope he watches it back and looks at the 2 or 3 times where he could have played the ball a lot quicker and not tried to take the whole team on from inside your own half. He could be doing a bit more passing and moving, but he'll learn from that. And like I say, I hope he watches it back. Subs that came on, Gomez did okay. Isak couldn't get into the game. Chiesa's just Chiesa. We didn't get much from him, but yeah. So that's really it. Up next, Aston Villa away on Friday night, 8 p.m. kickoff. They play Burnley tomorrow. I think it's 2:00. They'll beat Burnley and then they'll go back into 4th place with ease. But Slot's got some massive decisions to make between now and Friday. Will Salah be back? Will Alisson be back? Will a illness-free Wirtz be back? We don't know. Don't know about Canate. Picked up a bit of a knock. He said to the gaffer it was cramp, but he says we'll have to wait and see. Okay, another disappointing game from the Reds. We needed the 3 points to literally confirm our Champions League position. We are making it a hard thing, just like we've done in all the trophies that we have played for this season. And it's yet another game that the head coach, because he's not a manager, the head coach is not taking responsibility for that shambolic display, and it's not for the first time. And he is saying that it will be different next season when the new players are in and whatever. And if he's got a crystal ball and he can see that, I'd believe him. But he ain't got a crystal ball. and I don't think the players are playing for him, and it just shows. Okay, please subscribe, please share, and please like this video. And I will do a pre-match Aston Villa warm-up on Thursday. I'll speak to you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your weekend as best you can, and until the next time, up the Reds.